Welcome to Kyle Anthony's UFC betting show. I am Kyle Anthony, and welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the bet review show for UFC 240, Max Holloway versus Frankie Edgar. We're going to talk about the two free plays that we had. We had a profitable night, strong night, and let's just get into the plays. First play we're going to be talking about was one of our free plays, was on the main event between Frankie Edgar and Max Holloway. Our bet was the fight will go the distance. It was a plus 180. It hit, it went the distance, and looking at this fight and the things that I liked about it and some of the things that we talked about on the prediction show, if you want to take a look at my whole breakdown, the prediction show is up on my channel. But to break this down very quickly, I mean, this was a fight that everybody looked at, and you've got Max Holloway, his line was minus 400. You had Frankie Edgar roughly around plus 290, and this was one that most people liked Max Holloway. This was something that everybody kind of looked at, the size advantage, where he is in his career. You know, he's in his prime. You've got Frankie Edgar, world-class fighter, legend, Hall of Famer, former champion. So many great things to like about him, but just more towards the end of his career is where he's at. And I thought that he looked good, but the big thing for me here and why that I wanted to go with the decision here was because of both these guys are extremely, extremely durable. And that's something that we've seen throughout both of these guys' fights. I mean, obviously, the first time that Frankie Edgar was ever finished was against Brian Ortega. So it was a little nerve-wracking on that side of it. That was a fight that wasn't very long ago, and he was knocked out in the first round. But Frankie, knowing that this was going to be a title fight, he may not get another chance at a title. I like the fact that he was really going to be training hard, and the durability of him, and mixing in the fact of his cardio is really tremendous. Both of these guys they've done it multiple times throughout their career, going 5 rounds, going to decisions, being in championship rounds. A lot of that, I think, really was going to play into it. The respect that both of these guys have towards one another. I thought it'd be more of a chess match, and I felt that's pretty much what it was. A lot of back and forth going on. You know, Frankie was, pushing for some of those takedowns, and I got to say, Max Holloway's takedown defense far more superior than I thought it was. We talked about a little bit on the prediction show that he was, 84% takedown defense, and just hasn't been tested. And that was something that I thought maybe where Frankie could find some success and pull this fight a little bit further and pull it closer and get this one going to a decision, something a little bit closer than one lopsided victory. If they're standing, you know that Max is going to have that ability to really keep him on the outside, work his angles, work his range, and it was a back and forth fight. Going into that 5th round, I felt this was, we were just on the brink of it. Ended up happening. We do cash in on our free play that the fight did go to a decision. It was a yes that it would go there at plus 180. So we cashed in on that one. The other one that we did talk about was Jeff Neal versus Nico Price. Now, this fight here was one we had Jeff Neal. We were laying up a little bit, 3-1 favorite on him. We bet him up and ended up getting the victory as well. Jeff Neal does get us the cash in. So in this fight here, things that I liked and things I saw here was it was going to be a toe-to-toe war. These guys were going to stand and bang. And the way that it kind of took place is kind of the way that I was looking at that. Nico Price has power, and there were spots in this fight that Nico landed some nice shots and definitely rocked Neal, and Neal came back and rocked him. But the big thing for me was, yes, Price has a lot of power, but the technicality and just how crisp the striking is of Neal, who is an up-and-comer, who really, they were talking about, the guy is he's a waiter for his career right now, and he just actually they announced that he got the $50,000 bonus, so it's kind of nice to hear him get that, but he's working. So this isn't even his full time, and he is really elevating, and seeing him do that and what he's done in the last few fights, really impressive. But the big part to me here was Nico was going to find spots to be sloppy. And that was something that I really went against him. And the more I looked at Price, I just didn't really see that, he has some decent striking in spots, and all of a sudden he has himself in a terrible situation. And the big thing here also is that Jeff Neal on the post-fight interview, they had said the day of the fight, going to the arena, they started talking about a different game plan. And the game plan is that the coaches said, we saw that there was a lot of success taking Price to the ground. And again, we talked about that too, even against Randy Brown. And we were talking about it saying, you know what, there's a lot of times where Price will look good, and then all of a sudden he's on his back. And that's kind of what happened here. They wanted to work the ground and pound. They saw that there was maybe, the striking was there. They were doing that. But then he started looking for those takedowns and ended up getting a vicious ground and pound. Looked good. That's a spot for him that maybe he can really develop and push himself a little bit more to work that into his game. And I think Neal can really be a force to be reckoned with within this division. So Neal goes out there, gets the knockout in the second round, gets us to cash in. We hit on both of our bets. So good night overall, profitable night again. We're on a really strong run at this point. Over the last 3 events, all of the plays that I've on Wagertalk, as well as the free plays, we are 10-2. So really strong, and we want to keep that going forward. So excited to talk about the next event. Definitely follow me at Kyle Anthony UFC on Twitter. Always have our prediction shows every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I like to put those videos out, and then the bet review show is on Sunday. So there you have it. Let me know what you guys bet, what you guys won, lost, what you were looking for. Did you take some of these plays? Always like hearing about other people beating those bookies. So stay tuned. Definitely subscribe if you have not yet done so. Give it a thumbs up, and I will see you on the next prediction show. And this is Kyle Anthony's UFC betting show, and I'll see you next time.